your information source. KSMO Salem.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. The United Nations top court is ruling today on a call for Israel to stop its military offensive in Gaza. The top UN court stopped short of ordering a ceasefire in Gaza, but is demanding Israel try to contain death and damage. The UN also has something to say about the convicted killer executed in Alabama last night with nitrogen gas. A UN spokesman saying the man was clearly suffering before he died. The spokesperson says, and we're quoting, "Rather than looking for novel, untested methods to execute people, let's just bring an end to the death penalty." The AP's Lisa Dwyer on the first-of-its-kind execution of Kenneth Eugene Smith.
The execution took about 22 minutes. Smith appeared to remain conscious for several minutes. For at least 2 minutes, he appeared to shake and writhe on the gurney, sometimes pulling at the restraints. That was followed by several minutes of heavy breathing until breathing was no longer perceptible. Smith was one of 2 men convicted in the 1988 murder-for-hire slaying of a pastor's wife. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Alabama says the execution went as planned. A jury in New York will begin deciding the defamation case against Donald Trump today after closing arguments. This trial will decide how much he might owe the writer, E. Jean Carroll, for what he said about her after she accused him of sexually abusing her years ago. Now to the weather. Severe weather for millions of Americans. Forecasters are warning there could be heavy rain and flooding in the southeast through tomorrow. The National Weather Service's Bob Orvac on that rain in the south.
It looks like we have one more batch of heavy rain today into Saturday. Additional 1 to 2 inches are possible.
He says flooded areas like Houston will get a break, though, after the rain today and tomorrow.
After that, however, it looks like we're going to be going into a drier pattern.
This is AP News. To the border now and Congress.
A bipartisan Senate deal to pair border enforcement measures and Ukraine aid faces potential collapse. Work has been going on for months. The U.S. has run out of money to help Ukraine. Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney says the talks have slowed down because of Donald Trump's likely opposition.
The fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the stakes are high.
We know that if Putin prevails in Ukraine, the consequences for Western democracy and for the American people will be severe and haunt us for years.
A senator who was at a Republican luncheon says Minority Leader Mitch McConnell still personally supports pairing the border and Ukraine. Ed Donahue, Washington.
And I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
Save on everyday items with digital coupons at Country Mart. It's easy. Download the Town & Country Markets app and browse through a variety of digital coupons available and clip them to your account. You can also clip digital coupons online at tcmarkets.com. Shop at a store for your favorite items, then tell them your phone number at checkout, and the digital coupons will be deducted from your purchase automatically. Scan the QR code on the in-store flyer to learn more and start saving more today.
And just inside of half court, bang! Bang! At the buzzer! He climbed the elevator, caught it with 2 hands, and clutched it on the way down. Scooped up, thrown up, off the backboard and in, and Missouri wins! This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball. The Bragging Rights Trophy is coming to Como, folks. The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield. Run out to the rim, and he flushed it.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
At the KSMO studios, looking at our forecast today, more clouds, and there could be a little bit of patchy fog here and there, but for the most part, just a cloudy sky day today. We will have winds that'll die down, become virtually light and variable throughout the day, so it could be a fairly pleasant, though still overcast day. High today at 46. We will have those breezes out of the northwest still this morning, but they will die down as the morning continues. For tonight, we'll have a little bit of patchy fog that could develop after midnight. Cloudy otherwise, low of 35. 20% chance of getting a little bit of sprinkles in the early morning Saturday with northeasterly winds 5 to 10. Saturday itself, 50-50 chance of rain. They've cut that chance in half because most of the rain's now going to stay further to our south. We will have the possibility of some patchy fog again on Saturday, and that will be intermittent fog here and there in the morning and again in the afternoon, or I should say evening. And cloudy skies otherwise, high of 42. Winds will be out of the north on Saturday at about 8 to 15 and gusting to 25. Saturday night, a little bit of patchy fog could develop again in the evening, but it should die down late. Cloudy skies after that, low of 31 with northwesterly breezes 10 to 15 and gusting to 25. For Sunday, partly sunny, high of 43. Winds will continue out of the northwest at about 8 to 15 and gust to 20. Partly cloudy Sunday night, low of 26. And the sun returns on Monday with a high of 55 degrees with clear skies Monday night and a low of 35. Currently at the KSMO studios right now, your hometown radio station, we have 40 degrees. It doesn't feel like 40 because we do have that little bit of a breeze. It's coming out of the northwest at about 5 miles an hour, making it feel like 36. We have 98% relative humidity with that pressure rising up at 30.17 inches. Keep it here. They got news on the way next right here on KSMO Radio. We appreciate you being with us. It's Friday, January 26th.
Agri-America features the largest collection of agricultural podcasts, including popular titles such as...
Hi, this is Rob Sharkey, a fifth-generation farmer from Illinois. If you want to hear stories about agriculture, make sure you tune in to Shark Farmer Podcast today on Agri-America.
Hi, I'm Darren Hefty. Head over to Agri-America's podcast directory for the latest episode of the Ag PhD radio show.
Visit Agri-America's podcast directory at agriamerica.com/podcasts. agriamerica.com/podcasts.
Hi, I'm Doug Barnes from the Town & Country Bank. What does the farm mean to you? Maybe it means a weekend getaway for camping or hunting, or it's the life as a farmer. Maybe you want to build a dream home with a view. No matter what the farm means to you, Town & Country Bank can make it happen with the best rates and terms on land and mortgage loans. Town & Country Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 412144.
Want a good way to start the morning? Grab a McDonald's breakfast. Want a better way to start the morning? Grab their incredible buy one, get one for $1 breakfast deal. Now that's what I call a morning miracle. Right now, I can choose from the scrumptious sausage biscuit, savory sausage McMuffin, or the soft and warm sausage McGriddles. At McDonald's, morning miracles really do exist. I guess you could say I'm living on the sunny side of the drive-thru line. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
At the KSMO studios, it's 7:32. Time for news. Local news brought to you as a courtesy of all of us at KSMO Salem, your hometown radio source and your Ozark sports leader. My name is Dan Stevens. Glad to be with you on KSMO, AM 1340, FM 95.7. We're streaming online at KSMOradio.com. That's our Twitch account, KSMO Stream Facebook page, and KSMO YouTube. Wherever you're tuned into, we appreciate you being part of our morning. Let's take a look at that news. Thanks for joining us. The Denton County Commission met Thursday morning at the courthouse. Denton County Treasurer Danita Williams was in to share information about the cart receipts for January. She said the county received $78,575.56. That was up $1,720.13 from the January 2023 receipt of $76,855.43. Dolores Gray Wood was in to request the installation of a Trail of Tears sign on Denton County Road 5380. That's where it intersects with Route B. The sign will be provided by the National Park Service. The location is in District 1, so Commissioner Wes Mowbray indicated his men would install it. In the road report, Mowbray said his men were working on redesigning the salt spreader shed that has gotten in bad shape. He indicated they have looked at the MoDOT facility and they are working on drawings. District 2 Commissioner Gary Polk said his crew is out cutting firewood out of ditches to burn at the maintenance shed. Presiding Commissioner Gary Larson said he received an email from Ron Copeland indicating he had met with MoDOT, and Copeland was told that they're in the process of acquiring additional right-of-way for the replacement of the Standing Rock Bridge on Highway 19. Denton County Clerk Angie Curley said the last day to register to vote in the April election is March the 6th. Kevin Kreider, the Extension Cooperative Feral Hog Outreach Educator, was in with his update for 2023. He said that 7,780 feral hogs were taken off the landscape by elimination specialists compared to 6,289 in 2022. Kreider said of that number, 257 were eliminated from Dent County. Kreider said the program has provided haybuster no-till drills that are managed by the Sewer and Water Conservation District, and they're available free of charge to renovate fields with feral hog damage. Corky Stagg with AEA Design Engineering was in to present 3 change orders on the courthouse work that totaled $85,542.21. After a very lengthy discussion and numerous questions, the commissioners approved the change by a 2-to-1 vote. Commissioner Larson voted no on approval, stating he was not opposed to paying the additional amount, but felt the commission should have been kept up to date on the additional materials and costs during the renovation. Larson also had questions about when the lights on the outside of the courthouse are to be totally completed and what the labor warranty will be. Another issue Stack brought before the commission was the electrical upgrade. This will be requiring a change order as well. Stack said there are 3 options for the upgrade. He is to be back to the commission meeting on February 1st and have the electrical engineer with him to fully address the issue as well as the options. The next meeting of the commission will be Monday morning at 9 o'clock at the courthouse, and that meeting will be open to the public. Dent County Prosecuting Attorney Andrew Curley forwarded the results of the appeal by Randall Abney in the case of the state of Missouri versus Randall Lee Abney from the Missouri Court of Appeals, Southern District. After the case was reviewed, the jury's verdict of guilty of the neglect of a child and murder in the second degree for Abney was affirmed, as there was no evidence supporting the 4 points the defendant said the trial court had erred in by admitting hearsay and evidence of bad acts. The judgment was affirmed by appellate judge Becky J. W. Borthwick, who wrote the opinion, with judges Donnie Burrell and Jennifer R. Grocock concurring. Curley said typically a motion for the post-conviction relief is filed by the defendant after the appellate ruling. The defendant may seek a transfer to the Missouri Supreme Court for consideration. The post-conviction relief usually takes place in the sentencing court. Abney was sentenced by the trial court to serve 2 life sentences. Salem Board of Aldermen held their regular meeting at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. The board heard a presentation from Liz Condrey with the Salem Area Community Betterment Association on the upcoming visit of the Missouri Humanities Council Crossroads Change in Rural America exhibit that'll be at the Ozark Natural Cultural Resource Center for 6 weeks, beginning March the 23rd. Public Works Director Mark Nash received board approval to purchase 8 gateway modules for the AMI system from NextGrid Technology Solutions at a cost of $8,266. The board then approved the sale of surplus equipment and vehicles to be listed on the Purple Wave online auction service. City Administrator Sally Burbridge presented the Utility Committee's recommendation to add a water and sewer bill protection program through the Serve Line Bill Protection Program. Program is for water and sewer bill coverage with a maximum of $2,500 at a cost of $2.35 per month. This is not to fix the water leak, just to protect the customer against a high bill when a leak goes undetected. This will be an opt-out program, so customers must inform the city if they don't want to participate in that protection program. This program was approved by the board. Resolution number 1, 2024, regarding the approval of a new utility collections agency was tabled under the advice of Attorney Weber. The board approved an airport fuel bid from Nagler Transport at a cost of $10,397.50. The board also approved the Park and Recreations Board's recommendation to purchase a 2022 Ford F-250 at a cost of $42,689 with a budget adjustment of $7,689. Resolution number 2, 2024, authorized the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Salem and the MRPC to provide technical assistance for the CDBG environmental review for $5,500, and that was approved. The board approved allowing the mayor to sign the financial assistance agreement and the general terms and conditions document for the lead service line inventory project to receive the full grant award from state ARPA funds. The board then approved the Utility Committee's recommendation for the adoption of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act policy as part of the Salem Municipal Utilities policy for all new customer accounts to receive messaging and phone calls from the city. City Financial Director Stacy Houston gave a financial update. January tax revenues are down 2% from last year, but $1.1 million has been received in the general fund, and the city has begun collecting the additional 1% sales tax, and to date has received $243,000 from that additional fund. Houston reported that the total of all city funds is $8.4 million as of December 2023. She noted that Phase 2 of the Wastewater Improvement Project, which is ARPA funded, and Phase 2B, which is bond funded, are in the architecture design phase, and she has received billing for Phase 2, which could mean the city will have to seek short-term funding in the amount of $400,000. Park and Rec Director Melissa DuBois reported that Youth Basketball League is progressing with a record number of participants. Skills and drills will be held February 5th, 6th, and 8th. Soccer registration will begin today and last until February 13th. She is working on getting the projector for the Civic Theater and getting the rights to legally show movies. The tennis courts at the city park will need to be addressed and either have to be resurfaced or have a total rebuild in the near future. Alderman Williams also noted that the skate park needs repairs as well. The board approved the mayor's appointments to the Community Involvement Committee, which includes Roma Jones, Christy Bermudez, Elena Sellers, Sierra Connell, Carlos Lopez, and Patty and Gary McEwen. The board approved the library board's request to add Sally Gronowski to the Salem Library Board to replace Rhonda Thompson. The board heard the first reading of Bill 3581 to amend the duties of the Utility Committee, eliminating the reference to the Street Department, and the first reading of Bill 3582 that would change utility deposits from a fixed cost to one that would be 1/12 of the previous year's utilities at that address. They also heard the first reading of Bill 3583, changing the terminology of the definitions and duties of the building inspector. Bill number 3584, that would also change terminology and responsibilities for violations written by the building inspector. And Bill number 3587, amending the annual budget for the city beginning July 1st, 2023. The total revenues amended at $889,076 and expenses at $622,720 for a total change of $41,090. The board approved resolution number 3, 2024, a change order as part of the Welcome Home program for a home located at 503 East Rolla Road with a deduction of $2,500. Burbridge reported there were 2 water leaks at the Civic Center with extensive damage to the council chambers. Insurance claims have been made, and the city staff have done the cleanup. The water's been turned off at the old City Hall auditorium, and a plumber will be asked to assess what changes need to be made. The sewer department recently had a DNR inspection on the collection system with no violations being found, and a notice of compliance will be issued. After reports from the aldermen and city officials, the board went into closed session. We got sports on the way next when we come right back.
Have you ever asked a farmer if they talk to their fields?
Promise me you'll grow nice and tall. You got that? No, you were corn in 2013, not 2014. Hope you were thirsty. You think Cheryl's still mad at me?
After all that talking, sometimes it's time to listen. Your field has a voice, and John Deere Operations Center helps you hear it. Unlock every acre's full potential by using both agronomic and economic data. Visit johndeere.com/operations center and unlock your operation.
They run errands and equipment. They bring parts and dinner. They drive the combine and the kids to school. They feed livestock. They fix skinned knees, broken fences. They do the books and lead the 4-H group. They simply make everything better. John Deere celebrates the strength and resilience of the women that make farms run. They make all the difference.
At KSMO in sports news, the Sullivan Lady Eagles went on a 17-4 run in the second quarter, led by 2 3-pointers from Carly Head as they went on to beat the Salem Lady Tigers Thursday 51-39. Faith Kaminsky scored 20 points and finished with 10 rebounds, while Addison Fulton netted 10 more. Lady Tigers are 4-15. They'll be home to face the Thayer Lady Bobcats Monday at the SHS Gym, starting with a JV game at 6, followed by the varsity contest. The varsity game will be on KSMO Media. Salem boys basketball Tigers beat Houston Thursday 61-38 to go to 10-8 on the year, 1-0 in the SCA Conference. Trey Richter had 17 points to lead the Tigers, followed by Landon Richter, who had 11. JV also won 74-41 with Braden Radford leading the way there with 24 points. The Tigers will be at Waynesville tonight, starting at 6 with the JV contest with a varsity match to follow. The game can be heard on KSMO Radio. St. Louis Blues go for their 4th straight win tonight as they wrap up their 3-game road trip in Seattle at 9 o'clock. You can hear the game joined right after Tiger basketball on KSMO Radio. Will be joined in progress. The Blues will also be playing this Sunday afternoon against the Los Angeles Kings. Beginning of that game will be 1 o'clock. Pregame show at 12:30. Hear it here on KSMO Radio. Missouri Tigers will be in South Carolina Saturday to face the Gamecocks at 11:30. Tigers are 8-11 on the year, winless in the SEC Conference with an 0-6 record. You can hear the game on KSMO Radio. And on Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs play Baltimore in the AFC Championship matchup. That's news and sports brought to you as a courtesy of KSMO, your hometown radio station. It's 7:44. Time for our daily investment report, brought to you as a courtesy of the offices of Joe Brand and Leah Nash of Edward Jones at 907 South Pershing right here in Salem. You can call them at 729-3831 and get answers to the questions you may have about investing. Retirement plans. Maybe it's stocks or bonds or mutual funds. Maybe it's municipal bonds. Might be something else. Maybe 401k. Get in touch with Joe or Leah today. 729-3831. Joe Brand and Leah Nash of Edward Jones, member SIPC, and our daily investment report. With that report this morning, it is Teresa Whalen. Teresa?
This is Teresa Whalen bringing you the daily financial market report on behalf of financial advisors Joe Brand, Leah Nash, and also Edward Jones. Today's U.S. equities closed higher. The Dow closed up 243 points to close at 38,049. The NASDAQ closed up 29 points to close at 15,510. The S&P 500 closed up 26 points to close at 4,894. And in the bond market, 10-year Treasury yields are trading at 4.12%, 4.12. Thank you. The price of crude oil was up $2.19 to close at $77.28, and the spot price of gold was up $2.30 to close at $2,018.30. For stocks of local interest, we have Ameren Corporation at $69.68, up $1.32, AT&T $17.18, up 50 cents, Boeing $201.88, down $12.25, Dollar General $132.88, up $2.21. ExxonMobil $102.13, up $2.53. McDonald's $297.21, down $3.23. Microsoft $404.87, up $2.31. PepsiCo $166.56, up 96 cents. Pfizer $27.47, down 44 cents. Procter & Gamble $155.62, up $3.50. U.S. Bancorp $42.81, up 33 cents, and Walmart $162.84, up $2.34. This has been today's financial market report brought to you on behalf of Edward Jones and financial advisors Joe Brand and Leah Nash. Member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and financial advice at 907 South Pershing right here in Salem, Missouri, bringing you this Wall Street to Main Street report.
Thank you, Teresa. And don't forget to join us again for our next daily investor report coming your way right here on KSMO Radio. That'll be this afternoon right around 5:30, 5:35, or Monday morning at 7:40, 7:45. The daily investment report from the offices of Joe Brand and Leah Nash of Edward Jones, member SIPC. It's 7:47. Weather next.
And just inside of half court. Bang! Bang! At the buzzer! He climbed the elevator, caught it with two hands, and flushed it on the way down. Scooped up, thrown up, off the backboard and in, and Missouri wins.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
The bragging rights trophy is coming to Como, folks.
The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Run out to the rim, and he flushed it.
The Missouri Department of Agriculture is reminding livestock producers to be on the lookout for black vultures. The aggressive birds are affecting livestock operations and are spreading across the state. Missouri livestock producers have been facing the issue for years.
We lost our first calf, which was not a newborn calf, was a bigger calf, about a 300-pounder. You know, we lost a lot of genetics there. It's bad to lose the animal, but also the genetics that you're trying to bring up into your herd also you lose.
There are some mitigation efforts that are recommended.
Pyrotechnics, firing guns up in the air, hang an effigy up in a tree off of a bird that you have taken, or USDA APHIS has been very good about sending birds that they have killed. Effigies seem to be the most effective tool.
The USDA, Missouri Department of Agriculture, and MU Extension stand ready to help livestock producers in the fight against black vultures. Start the process at agriculture.mo.gov. That's agriculture.mo.gov.
At KSMO, it's now time for a look at weather on Operation Weather Watch. Complete summary of weather in the region and KSMO listening area, brought to you by our friends at Healthy Dane County and the Salem Community Center at the Armory. Don't forget, we're almost to February. In February, that means dance classes. And the line dancing dance classes will begin February the 6th. It'll be at Tuesday evenings. Every Tuesday evening in February at 6:30, and Rosalie Wright will be your instructor. It's easy to go. They'll be holding those classes at the Community Center at the Armory, and you pay $5 per person at the door. So if you can't make it to a class, you didn't pay for one, you can't attend. So check that out. Healthy Dane County's Fitness Center's line dancing dance classes. It's always a good time, and they always get a pretty good crowd. So I hope you get a chance to enjoy that, to get some friends together and go out there and do it as a group. And it always is a lot of fun, too. Check that out at Healthy Dane County Fitness Center. If you got questions, give them a call. 739-1127. That's 739-1127. They can give you all the details. Well, overcast skies will continue through this afternoon, and highs will be in the mid-40s to near 50. Now, we will still have a little bit of fog in our area. It's not going to be quite as thick as it was yesterday, but there is a low cloud deck, and in some areas you may run into some thicker clouds and thicker fog. In other areas, you may not really be affected too much by the fog at all. Now, an upper-level low and associated trough will translate across the southern plains today, and this will bring with it less rainfall and chances to the system with the approaching system because it's pushing it further to the south. This is a result of a southern low track. Those rain chances will increase across southern Missouri down at the Missouri-Arkansas border, but above that, we're not going to get as much rain as they originally thought. So we'll have some mid-level dry air that's going to be helping buffer that a little bit further south. Now on Saturday, that rain will be ongoing Saturday morning through the afternoon. For the areas along and north of I-44, your chances have dwindled drastically, with 1/10 of an inch or less expected. There'll be plenty of dry time across the area on Saturday for you. The better chances for the rain, though, will be along the Missouri-Arkansas border at 60 to 80%. And then further up, a little bit further north of 60, about 50%. A few locations in south central Missouri may approach getting 3/4 of an inch of rain. That'll be a very few locations. Rain shifts east of the area by late afternoon on Saturday or early evening, and temperatures will remain in the low 40s. Overnight lows Saturday night in the 30s. Now Sunday, we'll have a high around, well, pretty much normal for late January, right around 42 to 44 degrees. Cloud cover may struggle to clear the area through the day, but the return of some much-needed sunshine will be making its way by Monday to our area. Overnight lows will fall to mid-20s to near 30. That mid-level ridging will support the significant heights. That will bring us some rises in our atmosphere. This will bring us south-southwesterly winds and warmer temperatures. Probability of max temperatures greater than 50 degrees for next week. It's 90% each day. Now, in general, most of the area can expect highs in the mid to upper 50s, but out in southwest Missouri, they may be in the 60s by midweek. Temperatures will range from 10 to 15 degrees above normal for late January and early February. A quick-moving short wave will slide north of the region on Monday and Tuesday, but there's no associated precipitation with that at this time. It's going to be a dry stretch all next week. Now, following week, as we get to the middle of February, moving in on Valentine's Day, there may be some precipitation and cooler temperatures moving back into the area. Now, 48 was our high yesterday, 41 the low. Normal high, 45. Normal low, 24. Record high of 74 was in 1890. -8 the record low in 1904. Yesterday we had 1.25 inches of rain. We had a lot of rain yesterday. We really did. 5 1/10 inches is our total for the year. Normal should be at 2 1/8. So, yeah, we've gotten in the last week quite a bit of rain. Matter of fact, over 3 inches of rain starting last weekend to this morning. So as of midnight last night, actually. So a lot of rain. Our extended forecast for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing but sunshine in the forecast for those days, and temperatures right around 55 to 57 all 3 days. We may have a few clouds Tuesday night with that passing of that system north of us, in a low of 31, but mostly clear skies on Wednesday night in a low of 33. That local forecast and our current conditions next. The Healthy Dent County Fitness Center is proud to announce that they are now offering free memberships to those who have the Silver Sneakers program, which is a benefit available through many Medicare plans. Silver Sneakers is the nation's leading community fitness program designed exclusively for older adults. Getting started is as easy as calling the Healthy Dent County Fitness Center at 739-1127 to see if you qualify, or stop by and sign up at the Fitness Center office, take a tour of the facility, and start working out at no cost. Healthy Dent County and the Silver Sneakers program, partnering together for your well-being. Stop by 1200 West Trello Road or call 739-1127 to get all the details. Healthy Dent County and the Silver Sneakers program, together for your benefit. 7:55 at KSMO Radio, and we could see some fog out there yet this morning. Yeah, there's some areas where you can see some fog. It's not on the ground too much yet, but we may actually see it drop a little bit. So be prepared for some fog. It should be patchy today for the most part, but we can't say that it will not collect for a little while. Can't do that. Yeah, we can't say that because very well it could and make things difficult again for driving. So if you do run into some fog, again, keep your beams down on low, drive a little bit slower, get some separation between you and the person in front of you. Look for their tail lights, look for their brake lights and things of that nature so you have time to react, but also give yourself some distance and watch out for the sides of the roads as well. If you have little animals and things of that nature, you will not be able to see them due to the fog. So again, keep that in mind. If you have fog lights, you might want to use those. They're a little bit lower to the pavement. We'll give you a better view of the pavement in front of you. But again, give yourself a little extra time. Drive careful and make sure if you put your headlights on, you get your wipers on as well if you need it for that fog, because there'll be some little moisture that will accumulate on your window as well. And for tonight, we have a 20% chance of getting a little bit of rain. Rain chance today? None. We're not supposed to have any rain during the day today. High of 46. Tonight, that 20% chance will occur, but not till way after midnight. We will have cloudy skies and a low of 35. Still can't rule out a little patchy fog near midnight or so with northeasterly winds at about 5 to 10. Those winds that we'll have this morning, they will die down by the late morning. Now, for Saturday itself, still a 50-50 chance of getting some rain, and we will have a little bit of patchy fog develop in the morning, and then again the late afternoon. That could stick around till maybe mid-evening. Let's call it that. Cloudy skies throughout the day Saturday, high of 42 with north winds at 8 to 15, gusting to 20 miles an hour. Usually the windier it is, the less fog you will have. Patchy fog, again, we mentioned that Saturday night. Possible after 8 o'clock, but just patchy fog. And a low of 31. Winds, well, they'll be out of northwest Saturday night at 15 miles an hour, gusting to 25. Partly sunny comes Sunday. High of 43. Northwesterly winds at 5 to 15, still gusting to 18. Probably start the day out with some clouds, but eventually by Sunday afternoon, have partly sunny skies. Partly cloudy comes Sunday night. Low of 26 with mostly sunny skies on Monday. 54 for that high. Currently at KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station, we have still cloudy skies. We actually got a little bit of
fog out there in some areas of Dane County. Not everywhere, but the visibility is dropping a little bit, so we know that there is some fog. Low cloud deck is what we really have, and in some areas where we have elevated roads and sometimes roads that are down low, we may have a collection of fog in those areas. So again, keep that in mind. So right now 39, feels like 35. We have 5-mile-an-hour winds coming out of the northwest. Our relative humidity is back at 100%, 30.19 inches of pressure, and that continues to rise here at KSMO Radio. And there you have it. A look at what's going on in the world of weather, brought to you as a courtesy of your friends at Healthy Dane County and the Salem Community Center at the Armory. Well, with Valentine's Day right around the corner, Groundhog's Day's first, I know that. But Valentine's Day probably a little bit more fun to have a Valentine's Day dance. And that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be held out at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. It's sponsored by Kurt's Mobile Homes and also sponsored by your friends at Healthy Dane County. Now, again, the doors will open at 6 on Friday, February 9th. Yeah, it won't be on Valentine's Day itself, but it will give you an opportunity to go out and have some fun, dance the night away, enjoy some great music with Candy and the Cowboy, and it will be out at the Community Center at the Armory. Doors will open at 6. The music will be from 6:30 to 9:30. A little bit of country and pop music, a lot of fun, and have some great food and do some dancing. Concessions will be available. It's a BYOB. 729-8163 is the number to call about the Valentine's Day dance at Healthy Dane County and the Salem Community Center at the Armory. You can email Jackie or call her at 729-8163. And Jackie's email over there is Jackie, Jackie, at salemcommunitycenter.org. Cowboy and the Candy and the Cowboy. You'll get your little cowboy boots on, do a little bit of maybe line dancing, or enjoy just maybe some swing dancing too. They'll play a variety of different songs, and you'll have a lot of fun dancing and maybe even singing along. Valentine's Dance, Friday, February 9th, Salem Community Center at the Armory, $5 per person at the door, but you must be 18 years of age and above. At KSMO Radio, we invite you to stick around for Civic Happenings next. And we have a long Civic record, so I'm going to refill your coffee cup and get back in 90 seconds for that Civic record.
What is it that makes you powerful? It's not only having a voice, but knowing that it's heard loud and clear. We understand knowledge can change your life, and that energy will continue to power it. And because you're part of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we're always listening. Because you're more than just a customer, you're a member. And what's more powerful than that?
We are Missouri's electric cooperatives. Learn more at membersfirst.coop today.
The Bank of Salem Shazam Bolt's mobile app offers you a safe, easy, and fast way to manage your accounts, identifying potential fraud, finding surcharge-free ATMs, checking your balance, and providing alerts for purchases exceeding your designated amounts. Anytime, anywhere, even when the bank is closed, all from your mobile device. Shazam Bolts, a safer, easier, and faster mobile solution. Stop by the Bank of Salem for enrollment information. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, y'all, it's Fitz from the Country Top 40. You got to join me this weekend. Warren Ziders is going to hang out with us to let us in on the worst critic he's ever had.
Oh, man. It's like trying to get the stars and the moon and the sun all to align.
The mystery identity behind Warren Ziders' rudest critic and the 40 biggest songs of the week this weekend on the Country Top 40 right here.
Here at KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station, time for that Civic Record. It's a program of church and civic news and a mention of persons recently deceased. Civic Record is brought to you as a courtesy of your friends right here at KSMO Radio and at Southtown Furniture and Highway 19 South. You know, right now you can start thinking about what you might be thinking about for the springtime. What are you looking for your home? Maybe you've got some plans to make some changes. Maybe you are tired of the way this looks or that looks. Maybe the furniture is just starting to get all wore out. Maybe your bedding is just about done. Or maybe it's the appliances that have been giving you fits over the winter. Maybe it's time to make some changes. Head on down to Southtown And you can walk around, browse around, and take a look at the different styles of furniture, the beautiful collection of bedding that they have, different appliances that might just be meeting the needs that you have right now, much better than the current appliances that you have. Simply make it a point to give them some time. They're open Monday through Saturday, so it's easy to go down and just browse around the store. And if that's all you want to do, they'll let you do that and not even ask you a question. But if you have questions, they'll be more than happy to answer them. The friendly staff at Southtown Furniture will be there to help you. Your friends at Southtown Furniture. They're part of the Bauer family of furniture stores that have been serving you since 1922. Southtown Furniture in Salem, that is where the bargains are. And don't forget to go online, SouthtownFurnitureSalem.com, for even a better chance to browse through the store at any time, day or night, 24/7. Marvin Rodney Pace of Salem passed away Monday at the age of 69. Funeral services for Marvin Rodney Pace will be at 11 this morning at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel, with visitation from 10 until service time at the chapel. Burial will be in the Cedar Grove Cemetery. Marvin Rodney Pace is survived by his wife Darlene Pace of Salem, brother Dave Pace and wife Sharon of Salem, sister Sue Gorman and husband Steve of Salem, and Missy Kennedy and husband Rick of Salem, plus nieces, nephews, great-nieces and nephews, cousins, and friends. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for Marvin Rodney Pace, whose funeral services will be at 11 this morning at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Roger Donald of Steelville passed away on Saturday, January 20th at the age of 74. Funeral services for Roger Donald will be held at noon today at the Britton Bennett Funeral Home in Steelville. The interment will be in the Steelville Cemetery. Roger Donald is survived by his wife Darlene Donald of Steelville, two sons, Kenneth Donald and wife Samantha Joe of Sequin, Texas, I should say, Clinton Jones of Steelville, make that Clinton James of Steelville. Two daughters, Heather Douglas of Camdenton, Missouri, and husband Kenny, and Anita Donald of Springfield. Two brothers, Bruce Donald of Cherryville and wife Cheryl, and Jerry Donald of Roach and wife Carla. Plus 4 grandchildren and many relatives and friends. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Britton Bennett Funeral Home of Steelville for Roger Donald, whose funeral services will be at noon today at the Britton Bennett Funeral Home in Steelville. George Roland Ponzer of Rolla passed away on Friday, January 19th at the age of 95. Funeral services for George Roland Ponzer will be at 1 o'clock today at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary. Visitation will be from 11 this morning until service time at the chapel. Interment will be in the Lake Springs Cemetery. George Roland Ponzer, survived by children Roland Ponzer and wife Sandy of Blue Springs, Missouri, Gregory Ponzer of Bellingham, Washington, Melvin Ponzer and wife Rhoda of Harrisburg, Missouri, Laura Ponzer of Rolla, David Ponzer of Rolla, Martha French and husband Kenneth of Rolla, and Frank Ponzer and wife Cheryl of Estes Park, Colorado, plus a host of grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. Memorials may be made to Lake Springs Cemetery. Cards are available, and all the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of Rolla for George Roland Ponzer, whose funeral services will be held at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary. Leonard Oliver Lenny Southard of St. James passed away Thursday, January 18th, at the age of 76. Funeral services for Lenny Southard will be held at the St. James Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary at 1 o'clock today. Visitation will be from 11 this morning till service time. Lenny Southard, survived by children Denise Chu and husband Frankie of Hendersonville, Tennessee, Sean Southard and wife Erica of Mount Airy, Georgia, and Melissa Sorrells and husband Jeremy of Calhoun, Georgia, Sisters Karen Clark of Missouri, LaDonna Southard of Kansas City, Verlie Faust of St. James, and Sharon Webster and husband Dan of Cuba, plus 7 grandchildren. All the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of St. James for Leonard Oliver Lenny Southard, whose funeral services will be at 1 o'clock today at the St. James Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary. Laura Ruth Albert of Houston passed away on Saturday, January 20th in Springfield at the age of 57. Graveside services for Laura Ruth Albert will be held at 1 o'clock today at the Shepherd Hills Cemetery in Barnhart. Laura Ruth Albert, survived by a brother, Lewis Albert, and wife Sherry of Springfield, Illinois, plus a host of nieces, nephews, and friends. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for Laura Ruth Albert, whose graveside services will be at 1 o'clock today at the Shepherd Hills Cemetery in Barnhart. Rosabelle Elizabeth Toon of Rolla passed away on Wednesday at the age of 94. Funeral services for Rosabelle Elizabeth Toon will be at 2 o'clock Saturday at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary. Visitation for family and friends will be from 5 to 7 this evening at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar. Interment will be in the North Lawn Cemetery. Rosabelle is survived by her son, Larry Connor of Dixon, Missouri, and significant other, Connie Delcor of Sullivan, stepson, Marty Toon of Fancy Farm, Kentucky, and wife Janet, her brother Chester Delcor of Steelville and wife Faye, and 2 grandchildren, 3 step-grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. All the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of Rolla for Rosabelle Elizabeth Toon, whose funeral services will be at 2 o'clock Saturday at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar. Johnny Dwayne Stroder of Boss passed away Wednesday, January 17th in Boss at the age of 63. A celebration of life for Johnny Dwayne Stroder will be held Sunday afternoon at 1 at the Tudor Hall in Boss. Interment will be in the Boss Cemetery. Johnny Dwayne Stroder, survived by Connie Steelman and husband Steve, Cindy Callahan, husband Jerry, Phil Abney and wife Sammy, and Kathy Lowe, plus a number of cousins, relatives, and friends. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for Johnny Dwayne Stroder, whose celebration of life will be Sunday afternoon at 1 at the Tudor Hall in Boss, Missouri. Nevaeh Angel Hayes of Salem passed away Monday at the age of 15. Funeral services for Nevaeh Angel Hayes will be at 11 o'clock Monday morning at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel, with visitation from 4 until 7 Sunday at the chapel. Burial will be at a private cemetery. Nevaeh is survived by her parents, Casey and Crystal Hayes of Salem, grandparents, Leona Marie Walker of Rolla, Charles and Ruth Walker of Salem, Virginia and Marty Haight of South Dakota, and Brenda Nelson of South Dakota, great-grandmother Leona May Walker, siblings Dominic Walker, Tristan Reynolds, and Cordell Hayes, as well as a host of aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends. Memorial contributions may be made to help with the final expenses. Envelopes are available, and all the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for Nevaeh Angel Hayes, whose funeral services will be Monday morning at 11 at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Dorothy Ann Bray of Rolla passed away on Wednesday, January 24th, at the age of 97. Funeral services for Dorothy Ann Bray will be held at 1 o'clock Monday at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary. Visitation for family and friends will be held from 11 until service time at the chapel. Interment will be in the Pilot Knob Cemetery in Rolla. Dorothy Ann Bray is survived by sons Dennis Harris and wife Pat, and Roger Harris of Rolla, 2 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. All the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of Rolla for Dorothy Ann Bray, whose funeral services will be held at 1 o'clock Monday at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar Mortuary. More of our Civic Record is next when we come right back.
Southtown Furniture in Salem is your local authorized appliance dealer for Speed Queen washers and dryers. Speed Queen is the most dependable washer and dryer available today, featuring their famous commercial design using only the highest quality metal components. These components are tested for over 10,000 cycles or 25 years of life at 8 loads per week. Your clothes will always come out cleaner with Speed Queen's large size agitator and wash tub, both rotating, allowing water to move through the heaviest fabric to create a better, gentle wash. Stop by Southtown Furniture today, your local authorized appliance dealer for Speed Queen washers and dryers, Highway 19 South, right here in Salem. It's Southtown Furniture.
Continuing with the Civic Record, tonight the Eagles Club will be having a karaoke contest, which is open to everybody. The contest will have registration from 6:30 to 7:30, and the first 25 people who sign up and register will be able to participate in the contest, which gets underway at 8 o'clock this evening. Now, if you're lucky to be in the top 12, or you're good enough to be in the top 12, you'll move on to the final round, which will be held Saturday evening. Cash prizes for the top 3 winners on Saturday will be handed out. The Salem Eagles is holding a karaoke contest. Open to the public. It's tonight. Registration 6:30 to 7:30 at the club, out Highway 32 West, just past the airport. And again, all are welcome to attend. The contest itself begins at 8 this evening, with the top 12 moving on to the final round tomorrow night. The Eagles Club on Highway 32 West. Come on out and be a part of it. Even if you're not singing, you can be a part of the great atmosphere they have out there for a fun night of music and more. The Salem Eagles Club on Highway 32 West, just past the airport on the north side of Highway 32. Salem Acoustic Jam will be held this Saturday at the Creative Arts Center at 6:30. Whether you like to play music or just listen, come on out and be a part of it. Bring your instrument if you wish, or just come tap your feet. All types of music are played, whether you're a beginner or seasoned pro, everyone's welcome to participate. There is no charge to attend. Salem Acoustic Jam this Saturday night, Creative Arts Center at 6:30. Everybody's welcome. Creative Arts Center will be hosting a painting and animating water and watercolor class with Lexi Much. It'll be held Monday from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. They'll be painting a simplified creek scene to practice, then improve watercolor painting skills, and then use this to create an animation. Develop your watercolor painting technique and learn the process of hand-drawn animation at the very same time. Also covered will be some watercolor basics, and you'll have the chance to practice the craft, working together to create an animated scene as a group. Students will see the process of hand-drawn, hand-painted animation, learn how they might endeavor to create their own at home, and find out what tools will be necessary for such a project. All skill levels are encouraged to attend. Cost is $25 per adult, $10 for children, and the class is open to those 10 years of age and above. All the supplies are included. They do have to have at least 4 people sign up to make the class possible. Class registrations are on a first-come, first-served basis with online registrations. If you're interested, sign up under programs at salemcommunitybetterment.com under the activities for the Creative Arts Center. And the Salem Senior Center, the nutrition site inside that, will have lunch today from 11 to 12:30, and you're welcome to stop by and enjoy. All ages can enjoy the fantastic meals they have at the Salem Nutrition site, where today it'll be chicken or baked fish, cornbread, pinto beans, coleslaw, and milk. Now, don't forget that the Salem Nutrition site is located inside the Salem Senior Center at 604 North McGrath Lane. If you have questions, call 729-2373, 729-2373, and, of course, it's an outstanding meal. You don't want to miss out. 11 to 12:30 today. And if you're 60 years of age and above, the suggested contribution for your meal is $5. If you happen to be under 60, the cost for your meal will be $7. And the menu can change without notice. The menu again today: chicken or baked fish, cornbread, pinto beans, coleslaw, and milk at the Salem Nutrition Center. That'll do it for a look at our Civic Record. It's a program of church and civic news and a mention of persons recently deceased. The Civic Record is brought to you by your friends at Southtown Furniture on Highway 19 South. You know, there's never a bad time to browse around and just to see what's brand new in the furniture world. You know, so many things change, types of fabrics that are being used, the type of styles that are done. Sometimes they kind of retro back. Sometimes they move forward. Sometimes they're a combination of both, which makes it pretty cool. And in some areas, you have some sectionals, you have mechanical or recliners, as the electric ones, or you can have the ones that are manual. And in some cases, you have both. You might want to check that out. And of course, if you're not needing a full sectional or maybe a traditional sofa, how about a love seat? Yeah, they've got those too, where you and your partner can sit next to each other. Have that nice common area in the middle where you can store the TV remote, or maybe you've got some snacks there. It's a great thing to have. So check it out, Southtown Furniture today. They welcome you to stop on by, browse around, look, see what you might find that's just perfect for your home. Might be an accessory, might be a new appliance, might be some new floor coverings that you're looking at. Never a bad time to stop on by Southtown at all. Browse around and look. Or if you have a question about financing, you can even fill out a form online at SouthtownFurnitureSalem.com. That's right. Application is right there. Check it out for yourself. Southtown Furniture, open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Of course, Monday through Saturday. Right here in Salem at Highway 19 South, 1601 South Highway 19. 729-3422. It's 2 blocks south of the Crossroads Shopping Center. But you can also access Southtown Furniture's great inventory online. SouthtownFurnitureSalem.com. It's where the bargains are. At KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station, we have statewide news coming up from the Missouri Net, our Salem Nutrition Center's menu. We've got AP News. We've got Sports of Missouri Net. We've got a little look at weather, agribusiness news, and Daryl Skyoffs of the South Central Regional Stockyards will be in this morning. Lots of stuff going on. KSMO Radio.
This is Cardinals broadcaster Ricky Horton. Soon enough, the boys of summer will be back and on the fields in Jupiter, Florida. Spring Training 2024. It'll be another season of the home runs, the hits, and the unforgettable moments. We will have you covered and will be with you from the first pitch to the final out, right here on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Cardinal Baseball on your Ozark Sports Leader, KSMO.
Did you know that hand washing was the single most effective way to stay healthy? This is Deborah Hobson, Director of Infection Prevention, Employee Health and Education. Many diseases and conditions are spread by not washing hands with soap and clean running water. Germs can get into the body through the eyes, nose, and mouth. If you have any questions regarding proper hand washing techniques or infection prevention, give me a call at 729-6626 Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
Missouri Net News, I'm Marshall Griffin. The rain Missouri's been experiencing in the last week has again improved drought conditions. The U.S. Drought Monitor shows just over 81% of Missouri is experiencing drought, down slightly from last week. Despite that improvement, severe drought is still impacting parts of central and south central Missouri. Parts of southeast, western, northwestern, and a small fraction of eastern Missouri are not experiencing any drought conditions. Warrensburg State Representative Dan Houcks is not giving up. He's again sponsoring a bill to legalize sports betting. The measure has repeatedly been blocked in the Senate by fellow Republican Denny Hoskins. Houcks tells a House committee that revenue from the measure could bring in about $35 million to education from the proposed 10% tax rate.
With revenues declining would be a big help right now. It allows the sports teams, mobile operators, and the casinos to have skins, and those skins can be sold to whichever groups they want to. The fees range between $100,000 and $350,000.
Testifying against the bill was Bob Priddy, who called it irresponsible fiscal policy for proposing a tax rate far below that of what casinos in Missouri currently tax for gaming. Houcks says that if he cannot pass his bill this year, he'll support a ballot measure that seeks to legalize it. Missouri is trying to dig itself out of a child care hole. Nearly all of Missouri is in a child care desert, which means the state lacks access to adequate and affordable child care. In Governor Mike Parson's state budget proposal, he's requesting $52 million in state funding to boost child care subsidy rates.
But today, we only have the capacity to serve just 39% of Missouri's children in licensed facilities, and it's time for change.
The governor also wants the Missouri legislature to pass tax credits this year to help child care providers, donors to daycare centers, and businesses who help to cover child care costs of their employees. This is Missouri Net.
The Missouri Department of Agriculture is reminding livestock producers to be on the lookout for black vultures. The aggressive birds are affecting livestock operations and are spreading across the state. Missouri livestock producers have been facing the issue for years.
We lost our first calf, which was not a newborn calf, was a bigger calf, about a 300-pounder. You know, we lost a lot of genetics there. It's bad to lose the animal, but also the genetics that you're trying to bring up into your herd also you lose.
There are some mitigation efforts that are recommended.
Pyrotechnics, firing guns up in the air, hang an effigy up in a tree off of a bird that you've taken, or USDA APHIS has been very good about sending birds that they have killed. Effigies seem to be the most effective tool.
The USDA, Missouri Department of Agriculture, and MU Extension stand ready to help livestock producers in the fight against black vultures. Start the process at agriculture.mo.gov. That's agriculture.mo.gov.
Missouri House Speaker Dean Plocher has formed a new special committee on innovation and technology. Anthony Morabith reports.
The committee looks at exploring and addressing the rapidly changing technological landscape in Missouri. The committee will identify and evaluate emerging technologies, forge strategies for integrating new solutions, craft guidance on technology-related policies, and help foster a culture of innovation. Bowling Green Republican Representative Cheb Perkins has been chosen to serve as committee chair. In a statement, Perkins wants to make sure that new and innovative technology does not trample on Missourians' rights.
A backlog of veterans' records that piled up at a St. Louis center during the pandemic has finally been cleared. According to the National Archives Office, there were numerous requests made for military service records during the COVID-19 pandemic. The backlog developed due to building occupancy limits put in place at the National Personnel Records Center in St. Louis as part of social distancing rules. It resulted in a backlog of more than 600,000 records requests from military veterans, which took 2 years to clear. This is Missouri Net.
Have you seen Townscreen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at the Salem Community Center at the Armory, Aranda's Mexican Restaurant, and Taxmasters, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Townscreen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained. Townscreen in Salem.
Here at KSMO Radio, let's take a look at that Salem Nutrition Center's menu for today. And they will be serving up chicken or baked fish, cornbread, pinto beans, coleslaw, and milk for lunch, which is served from 11 to 12:30 Monday through Friday except for holidays. The Salem Nutrition site's located inside the Salem Senior Center, 604 North McGrath Lane. And all ages, everybody is welcome to eat at the Salem Nutrition site. If you're 60 and above, the suggested contribution is $5. If you're under the age of 60, your meal will cost you $7. Again, the Salem Nutrition site will be serving up today chicken or baked fish, cornbread, pinto beans, coleslaw, and milk. If you have any questions, call the Salem Nutrition Center at 729-2373. And don't forget that the menu may change without notice. Every weekday, we bring you that Salem Nutrition Center's menus, a courtesy of KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station. Don't forget, we have Tiger basketball tonight. We have that coming your way at about 7 o'clock right here at KSMO 730. Somewhere in there, there'll be a Waynesville take on the Tigers. And that game will be audio only. We'll audio stream it on KSMO Media, but it will be on radio AM 1340, FM 95.7, and audio streamed on KSMO Media. And again, that'll begin somewhere between 7 and 7:30 tonight. And then we have Blues hockey right after that. We'll join that game in progress right after the Salem Tiger basketball game. It'll be in Seattle, take on the Kraken. That's right here on KSMO Radio. And at 9 o'clock, we do have Daryl Skyhouse on the South Central Regional Stockyards expected in. So we'll hope Daryl can make it in. We can get a report on South Central Regional Stockyard sales and see what's going on here in the Midwest. At KSMO Radio, stick around. We got AP News coming up and sports for the Missouri Net next on KSMO Radio.
Agri-America features the largest collection of agricultural podcasts, including popular titles such as...
Hi, this is Rob Sharkey, a fifth-generation farmer from Illinois. If you want to hear stories about agriculture, make sure you tune in to Shark Farmer Podcast today on Agri-America.
Hi, I'm Darren Hefty. Head over to Agri-America's podcast directory for the latest episode of the Ag PhD Radio Show.
Visit Agri-America's podcast directory at agriamerica.com/podcasts. agriamerica.com/podcasts.
KSMO Salem.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley.
This morning, the UN's highest court is demanding that Israel work to control the death and destruction in Gaza. It stopped short of ordering a ceasefire there. International Court of Justice President Joan E. Donoghue.
Israel launched a large-scale military operation in Gaza by land, air, and sea, which is causing massive civilian casualties, extensive destruction of civilian infrastructure, and the displacement of the overwhelming majority of the population in Gaza. The court is acutely aware of the extent of the human tragedy that is unfolding in the region and is deeply concerned about the continuing loss of life and human suffering.
Today's decision is only the first step. It could take years for the full case to be considered. The UN and the European Union are also slamming Alabama's first-of-its-kind execution of a convicted killer last night. A UN spokesman calling the death penalty an anachronism that doesn't belong in the 21st century. The AP's Lisa Dwyer.
Officials say Kenneth Eugene Smith was pronounced dead at 8:25 p.m. Thursday at an Alabama prison using nitrogen gas, marking the first time a new execution method has been used since lethal injection was introduced in 1982. The execution took about 22 minutes. Smith appeared to remain conscious for several minutes. For at least 2 minutes, he appeared to shake and writhe on the gurney, sometimes pulling at the restraints. That was followed by several minutes of heavy breathing until breathing was no longer perceptible.
A deadly shooting last night at an apartment complex in Arlington, Texas. 3 people are dead. 2 children found safe inside the apartment. No arrests yet that we know of. A jury is hearing closing arguments today in Donald Trump's defamation trial in New York. More rain in the forecast for some parts of the South today. Some flooding possible. This is AP News. If you saw the video, you won't forget it. The church collapse in Connecticut.
A historic stone church, a landmark in downtown New London, Connecticut, has collapsed into rubble. Lester Harris had just parked his car Thursday afternoon when the towering gray steeple and part of the roof of New London's First Congregational Church fell in on itself.
I heard this boom sound, and I looked to my left, and there was the church all in one piece, but then it just collapsed right down the middle.
James Maynard has been attending services at the church for 2 decades.
A lot of our memories are gone now.
At a news conference, New London Mayor Michael Passero says they believe only 1 woman was inside, but she was not hurt.
We're expecting that this building is a total loss.
The scene was a jumbled pile of stones and shattered timbers, with much of the building still standing. Students from an adjacent dormitory that serves at Connecticut College have been moved to a nearby hotel. Audio courtesy WFSB. I'm Jennifer King.
And I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
The Missouri Department of Agriculture is reminding livestock producers to be on the lookout for black vultures. The aggressive birds are affecting livestock operations and are spreading across the state. Missouri livestock producers have been facing the issue for years.
We lost our first calf, which was not a newborn calf, was a bigger calf, about a 300-pounder. You know, we lost a lot of genetics there. It's bad to lose the animal, but also the genetics that you're trying to bring up into your herd also you lose.
There are some mitigation efforts that are recommended.
Pyrotechnics, firing guns up in the air, hanging effigy up in a tree off of a bird that you've taken, or USDA APHIS has been very good about sending birds that they have killed. Effigies seem to be the most effective tool.
The USDA, Missouri Department of Agriculture, and MU Extension stand ready to help livestock producers in the fight against black vultures. Start the process at agriculture.mo.gov. That's agriculture.mo.gov.
Missouri Net Sports. Good morning, I'm Tim Fisher. We'll start with football, where the Kansas City Chiefs wrapping up their preparations for their 6th straight AFC title game as they go to Baltimore to take on the Ravens on Sunday. Facing the top-ranked defense, head coach Andy Reid knows his Chiefs will have a challenge.
They've got multiple fronts, multiple coverages. They execute them well. A lot of the teams that try to do a lot don't do it as well as this group does. So not only are the players listening, but they're being taught the right things, and they're able to go out and perform at a high level.
Kansas City looks for a trip to the Super Bowl on Sunday. Kickoff set for 2 o'clock against Baltimore. To college basketball, where the Missouri Tigers will be back on the court tomorrow, going on the road to South Carolina. Mizzou looking to snap a 6-game losing slide. Tip-off tomorrow set for 12 noon. From the college basketball scoreboard last night, Southeast Missouri State falls at UT Martin 84-58. Lindenwood drops an 80-66 decision at Little Rock, while the Roos of Kansas City fall on the road at South Dakota State 75-66. On to hockey, where the St. Louis Blues look to extend a 3-game winning streak tonight as they go to Seattle to take on the Kraken. And sports betting in Missouri is getting another run in the Missouri legislature. Representative Dan Houck is one that's co-sponsoring a bill to make it legal in the state and says it could be a big moneymaker for the state.
With revenues declining, would be a big help right now. It allows the sports teams, mobile operators, and the casinos to have skins, and those skins can be sold to whichever groups they want to. The fees range between $100,000 and $350,000.
I'm Tim Fisher, Missouri Net Sports.
The Missouri Veterans Home is a long-term skilled care facility that is now accepting admissions. The care is top-notch because our veterans deserve it.
Everybody is friendly. They treat you with respect. Like I say, I am so grateful that I got to be a resident here. It's just wonderful being here.
For more information about admissions at Missouri's Veterans Homes, visit mvc.dps.mo.gov. A message from the Missouri Veterans Commission.
AA made all the difference in my life. I noticed that most of the goals I had as a kid were slipping by. I didn't feel like the person I hoped to be. After all those years of drinking, I really didn't know myself. When I was out there drinking, I was always looking for the next great party to make me feel all right. With AA, I found a better way of life. And I feel good in my everyday life, even without a drink in my hand.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Want a good way to start the morning? Grab a McDonald's breakfast. Want a better way to start the morning? Grab their incredible buy one, get one for $1 breakfast deal. Now that's what I call a morning miracle. Right now, I can choose from the scrumptious sausage biscuit, savory sausage McMuffin, or the soft and warm sausage McGriddles. At McDonald's, morning miracles really do exist. I guess you could say I'm living on the sunny side of the drive-thru line. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
This is Cardinals broadcaster John Rooney. Soon enough, the boys of summer will be back on the fields in Jupiter, Florida for Spring Training 2024. It will be another season of the home runs, the hits, and the unforgettable moments. We will have you covered, and we'll be with you from the first pitch until the final out, right here on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar. Cardinal Baseball on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO.
836 at KS 1340 AM 95.7 FM, and we're streaming it online at KSMOradio.com, KSMO Stream Facebook page, and KSMO YouTube. Remember, you can always go back and check that out on Facebook and YouTube after the fact. If you missed the broadcast or missed the newscast, you want to go back and check it out, always welcome to do so. We can store those, and they are available to you. Here at KSMO Radio, we're going to have clouds today, maybe a little bit of fog here and there. Occasionally, not all day long. It is a little foggy right now. It's not a terrible fog that's you can't see, or not. Even though they had a dense fog advisory issued for our area, it really is more to the west and to our south than to us. But we will occasionally have a little bit of patchy fog, so we won't rule that out. However, we will have a high today of 46. We will have a northwesterly breeze, and that has been pretty much the case all morning long. It was at about 5 to 8 miles an hour this morning. It will calm down this morning. It's already on its way there, down to about 3 to 4 miles an hour. We will have a 20% chance of rain in the after midnight hours coming later tonight. That's just 20%. We could have some patchy fog after midnight as well. It'll be cloudy all the way through Saturday night and early Sunday. We will have a low of 35 later tonight/early morning Saturday, with winds moving to the northeast at about 5 to 8 miles an hour. Now, Saturday, you may want to take that umbrella. 50-50 chance of getting some rain. Not as much as they had talked about here just a day ago. It was a 100% chance of rain, but that system that was going to be affecting us seems to be wanting to stay south. Going to be below Highway 60 pretty much the whole time. Actually closer to the Missouri-Arkansas line. Looks like Arkansas is really going to get hit with some rain. And this rain is always, it's supposed to make its way down into Alabama and Mississippi and stuff, and they're supposed to get a lot of rain out of this system. So we're ducking that one after all the rain we've already gotten this week, which over 3 inches already this week, starting Sunday night. So we've had quite a bit of rain in our area in the last few days. However, this one will have a chance of leaving a little bit more rain. Could get up to 3/4 of an inch out of this system Saturday, which will be hanging around for quite a few hours, to be honest with you, Saturday morning into the afternoon. By mid to late afternoon, patchy fog could pop up. We will have cloudy skies all day Saturday, 42 for the high, with north winds picking up as the day goes on, 8 to 15 and gusting to 20 miles an hour. That'll be during the afternoon more than likely. Then for Saturday night, a little bit of patchy fog, mostly in the evening. Otherwise cloudy and breezy with a low of 31. We will have northwest winds at 10 to 15, gusting to 25. On Sunday, we'll start out the day with clouds. It'll become partly sunny by mid-afternoon, high at 43. Northwest winds at 5 to 10, gusting to 20. Partly cloudy Sunday night, low at 26. And sunny Monday, high at 54 degrees. Currently here at KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station, we're just brimming right there at 40 degrees, but we're right now at about 39.6. So we'll just call it 39 to 40 degrees. You call it what you will. A 4-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest has us feeling like 36. We have 100% relative humidity. The pressure continues to move up. It's at 30.20 inches right now here at KSMO, and we have those gray, cloudy skies and a low cloud deck, which means kind of looks a little foggy out there at times, and we do have some patchy fog in the area as well. But our visibility for many areas in Dane County is still 4 miles, so that's not too bad. Other areas, though, it gets a little foggier, and you'll probably see maybe a mile in some of those areas. But again, that's just patchy. It's not everywhere. Okay. At KSMO Radio, it's 840, your hometown radio station. It's time for a little agribusiness news. It's the Missouri Report from the Brownfield Farm Market Network, brought to you as a courtesy of all of us here at KSMO. And we do want to remind you that Daryl Skiles from the South Central Regional Stockyards will be our guest at 9 o'clock, so don't go anywhere. Keep it here, KSMO Radio, but right now, agribusiness news on your hometown radio station.
I'm Kara Hart with Ag News on Brownfield. A state ag secretary says poultry producers are bracing for the possibility of another outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza this spring. Brownfield's Brent Barnett has this report.
Iowa's Mike Negg says the virus had a major impact in 2023, with millions of birds depopulated across the state.
We had 19 cases of high path in the state of Iowa this fall.
He tells Brownfield,
all eyes now turn to spring, and the question is whether or not these migratory birds that have been carrying this virus, whether they will have developed an immunity to that or whether they will once again be carrying it with them.
Negg says finding a solution is no easy task.
It's important that we have provisions in the Farm Bill that allow support for states and USDA to better respond. I know there's been a conversation around vaccine usage against high path. I'm in favor of looking into that, but we need to really understand that there are trade implications and policy implications for that.
I'm Brent Barnett with Brownfield.
Thanks, Brent. Domestic poultry production dropped in December. USDA says over 4 billion pounds of poultry were certified wholesome, down 6% on the year. That included 3.7 billion pounds of chicken, 6% lower, and 393 million pounds of turkey, a decline of 5%. Those declines were due to a slower pace of slaughter and lighter live weights. The unofficial 2023 U.S. poultry production total was 52.6 billion pounds, up from 2022, with a slight increase for chicken and a 4% increase for turkey. The official final numbers will be out late next month. A livestock economist says the pork industry is still uncertain how California's Proposition 12 will impact markets. The state currently accounts for about 15% of the nation's pork consumption, and Brenda Botel with the University of Wisconsin River Falls says,
Does that mean that there's going to be excess pork on retail shelves outside of California in the United States? We will see some increase in exports, but is that going to compensate for what we're not selling in California? So there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding what's going to happen with pork prices.
And she says with so many unknowns, pork producers are looking for answers.
Whether or not they're going to be able to see continued profitability.
Producers and distributors can no longer self-certify and are required to be audited by a verified third party. The president and CEO of the U.S. Meat Export Federation says pork exports are in a strong position to start the year. Dan Hallstrom tells Brownfield purchasing power picked up steam in 2023 despite some economic challenges.
We're looking at somewhere in an 8 to 10% growth range year on year. And the value side more than likely will be a new record in the neighborhood of 8.1 to 8.2 billion in sales.
I'm Kara Hart for Brownfield.
Sports is about overcoming obstacles. This is Ernie Johnson Jr., and those are the stories I love to tell in the broadcast booth. But the courage of college athletes is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there's no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE to 501501 to donate $25 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 501501 today. Help college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you did.
Sponsored by the American Football Coaches Association. Texting and data rates may apply.
Just inside of half court. Bang! Bang! At the buzzer! He climbed the elevator, caught it with two hands, and pushed it on the way down. Scooped up, thrown up, off the backboard and in, and Missouri wins.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
The bragging rights trophy is coming to Como, folks.
The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Run out to the rim, and he flushed it.
Are you having a hard time finding ag podcasts? We can help. The